To me, toi iho means the very core, the essence of Maori art, where it comes from, its origins, its narrative, its histories, what we call te taikaka. That is the heartwood. That when you carve something, you are carving at the very heart of the principles of tohungatanga, which all our great artists have been imbued with by their people and by the deeds of their forebears.
The Toi Iho Maori-made mark is a registered trademark of authenticity and quality for Maori arts and crafts. Maori artists will use the mark on works they produce. The mark will be used in the form of a label, sticker or swing tag attached to works for sale. The mark has also been designed to authenticate exhibitions and performance of Maori art. Maori artists will need to apply to Te Waka Toi in Creative New Zealand to become licensed users of the mark. The mark is a For Maori by Maori initiative. The mark has been created by Maori artists. Some of the artists involved will now explain why the need for a mark and what it's all about.
Is there a need for a mark? I actually think that within Te Ao Māori, particularly at this time in our arts development and cultural so-called renaissance, there is a very real need, because so much of our imagery, so much of our taonga, so much of our beauty has been pillaged and exploited and replicated for us in places like Taiwan, the Philippines, Korea.
It is important to differentiate between what is Maori made by Maori hand, and what is made by tau iwi, or people from overseas. I think when one goes into a souvenir shop or a shop where one is presented with Maori imagery and Maori symbol, and one wants to buy something that is authentic, something that is from this place. I don't consider kete being made overseas and brought to this country as being authentic taonga. So in that sense, I think that the mark, again, will help provide a guide to the audience in terms of showing or revealing to the audience what is actually authentically Maori and what isn't.
Quality is all important, that we must do this with integrity, that all artists, all craftspeople, all artisans must maintain as high a standard as possible, because that is reflecting what we are as Māori artists, that we must not lower our standards simply to churn out products which will carry a mark, that we must do this with integrity. As Māori people of old always did, that quality in whatever they did was very important.
The quality of your work must be of the highest degree. If it's not, then it'll just fall into the same category as souvenir type work. There is still going to be a market for it, but as an individual, I don't think you'd be too proud of it if it doesn't have quality with it. To be able to finish a piece to exactly how you wanted the end product, then that is what I would consider quality.
How do you...
It'll give Maori artists that attain the mark some sort of advantage in the marketplace, I think. So it's that whole thing of branding, and the underpinning values are that the mark is authenticates you as a person of Maori descent, and the other aspect is the quality aspect. So once those become locked in, and the public are aware that that's what this mark signifies. So that'll take some time, I think, and it'll be predicated on basically our people supporting it. They need to support it.
What it will do, it will create a whole opportunity for Māori people to become involved in producing work for retail stores. It will create a demand for Māori made. That's what I would see. As a retailer myself, I want to stock Māori made product, and I will be looking for those products out there amongst producers.
I think what the mark will help provide is first it will, because it's actually been judged by peers in the profession, i.e. within the Maori art world, it's going to have the stamp of authenticity. And I suppose along with the stamp of authenticity comes the acknowledgement that the work is of a certain standard. And I would suppose that that standard would be of a high standard. Now, if that's the case, when the mark actually goes out to the marketplace, the audience or the buyer is then able to make judgments based on those two factors. One, that it is authentic, i.e. that it's been produced by a Māori person. And secondly, because it's been judged by peers in the profession that it is of a high standard, would mean that the person's getting very good value for their money. So they're getting two things. One, they're getting a very good artwork, and two, they're getting something that has been made by a Māori hand.
I would love to have something out there that says you can buy genuine Māori art from this particular retailer, or that the mark is something that's being looked for by people, and we will know soon enough, because if people hear about it, they'll be coming in to ask for it. I know from my perspective of looking at buying overseas that when I was in Vancouver, and there's a lot of Northwest art up there, which is fantastic, but in the certain areas of town there are Northwest art that's been marketed by absolutely everybody. So I had nothing to go by, apart from the fact that everything that they have up there is labelled, and it's signed by, it could be the tiniest pair of earrings, but it's got the artist's name, it's got the medium, and it has all the information I needed. So that's what we have to do, and it's been really lacking in souvenir tourism for the last 50 or 100 years here. So I'd be delighted to be able to have and present the mark in an appropriate way.
This is a wonderful new initiative, and I'm very pleased that it's happening in my lifetime for me to see that happen. Having experienced being with people who were born 1870 or so, and coming now into this century, it is a huge step forward for our people. It is a huge step from what I experienced as a young child or a young woman to the world today. And it is like this mark is going to launch us out there in the international arena, and in a way that we will be equal to such things as the wall mark and any other mark that is internationally recognised. And for Māori people, that's a great step forward for us. Ka nui aku mihi kia te wakatoi mō ngā mahi, mō tēnei mahi. O reira tēnā koutou katoa.
central portion of the mark is the iho, the core of Maori arts, the essence of creation. The iho sits protected in the center of the symbol. The colored multiple spirals represent the creativity, the innovation and the dynamism of Maori artists. The iho or core is the origin of Maori knowledge and tradition. Emanating from the core are the whakapapa or genealogy lines of past, present and future generations. The aesthetics of the mark symbol reflect the quality embodied in the works of highly skilled Maori artists. Toi iho, Maori made mark, authenticity, quality.